Welcome to the Donald J. Trump Q3 and Q4 of 2024. That would be July, August, September, and then October, November, December. So I did first 2 quarters in the fall, I think November. And I didn't do the next 2, so the last 2. So I waited to do it. So I'm going to do it live so I don't chicken out. I did the little drum clearing. I'm having still a rough post. This was a rough week in terms of Supreme Court, especially since I went to law school and still had a few delusions, not delusions. I was a few ideals about the law and justice. Anyway, it was a rough. So I'm recovering from that and coming back, but I want to see what's going on. From my take is that I've thought of them as the Jan 6ers, the people behind the scenes, the people in power, not the ones that ended up at the Capitol, maybe not names we know of. But this whole saga and news has continued because the so-called powers that be, wherever you want to talk, corporate, etc., is that Trump has support for a coup, ongoing coup. And when you have Justice Gorsuch basically saying a presidential immunity for the ages, he has very fascist dreams, reportedly, and in his high school yearbook. He's an authoritarian by blood, belief, ideal. So there is a serious power play. And it's easy that they call them MAGA. I think of MAGA as the Trump followers, the ones that believe in him, the QAnon, etc., who follow him. But the MAGA and Trump are being used in basically a power play. My feeling is that you can think you have power and think you're going to control these other players, but that would be a question, and hopefully we don't have to go down that path to see who without the normal controls of rule of law and institutions that work, it would be something of a free-for-all. And if the GOP House is any indication, it's really not functional. All right, so this is the Cowrie shell. This is earth, water, fire, nature, mineral. And there's a stone for nature, a stone for earth, 2 stones for water, deep water and blue water, firestone, and this black and white one is mineral. And where these land, or if they land in their own element, and then where everything lands, I read this on the chart. This is the Dagara medicine wheel, and let's see what happens. Put in some more fun things. Okay, Donald J. Trump, Q3, 2024. What does that look like? What's going on? So we start with the firestone, and the firestone is very close to Earth. And this is a new vision for the home. I interpret this as the new vision for the country. It's all rainbows and sunshine, but the rainbow can also be a little delusional. This is the hand. It's almost, I would say, to grab them by his famous saying. And using the institutions, or this is an institution putting up against him. He's ringing the bell and trying to put all the pieces together. He's calling on what's going on. He is located in nature, the worry doll, face down, surrendered to the chaos and in touch with the nature chaotic energy. This represents the GOP. It's an elephant ring. There's one shell down, two shells. There's three shells in a ring all crowded in. Mountain stone represents power. Here's a little tennis shoe. Reminds me of the Trump shoes. This is an aspect of his money raising or influence to get people to buy Trump tennis shoes. Anyway. So from the Firestone, we go to the Blue Water Stone. And the Blue Water Stone, it's aligned with in a personal reading, the healing in your awareness or your consciousness. This is shining a light. Or lighting the way, or he's coming across as and getting people to go along with his antics, his chaos, and then the deep water here, with an airplane on top of it, and a heart and a snake bone up. All of this almost right on the spoke going into Earth. This is, I think, when you come here into Earth, it's one of the pieces of your puzzle. Not sure what the 40 is here on the spoke. So here's the airplane. Here's the deep water. This can be a cooling down, but a seeing eye. There might be some pullback on some of the plans because of how they're being received with the people. And this could be his percentage, maybe, that he's in the 40s or lowered in terms of how people want him. That some of the things that they're selling may not, in terms of the abortion or the reproductive treatment, they might start to change the vision of what they're selling and look at how they're seen. Here's two rings and in almost like a seeing eye with justice here and a shell here. I mean, a asha here. This is DOJ. I think this is DOJ, which is pushing up against all this sunshine and rainbows and dreams that they have. The nature stone is here in the spirit ring, overlapping with a consortium of groups that I believe this is the Supreme Court because it has the scales of justice. This is a consortium, probably the Leonard Leo for entertainment purposes only consortium of groups. This would be your Christian nationalists or your the ones who support Trump and this out of religious beliefs. And this goes back to the support and influence. So there's a story being told by the court and a story being told by the religious supporters. To try to keep the base of power, but this is the platform of power and it's tilting a little rocky. And happy cow here. This is the frog here. And in the last one for June, I haven't published it, but I did a by month. The frog was upside down in the center. This frog is unsteady, unbalanced, like trying to get a new start, trying to level things out. He's worried about being seen, getting more opportunities to shine. He's still very much affected by some legal cases. One snake bone is here. The other snake bone is here. They are as a pair that ties into this. He has some international support. I would say this is international. The other tennis shoe that goes with this is the key unlocking. So there's still this delusional thing. There's the Texas, there's the boot. Here's the hand on a jaguar and a microphone. I think that there is more information coming out that's organized. Oh, this can be if some information comes out, they try to change it, fly it a different way, play the story differently, but it's a little rocky. When I see this here with the decision, I always wonder, it's always talked about with the drug use, but maybe that gets talked about a little more. And then the mineral stone is here in water of gift. It doesn't have a lot of support. And here's the clown act again. But the relationship ring here is empty. Because it's just the firestone in earth, which is about a new vision, trying to bring it about, put the pieces together, act out the way he acts out, do his show, get people to believe. It doesn't have, I don't think his percentage is good. There's a problem with the message they're trying to shore up. There's something cooking over here in consciousness. There's the sun shining on a woman. This could be after the case is resolved, or his basically attention to women. So the bell's ringing. So there's a lot of noise. There's a lot of bluster. There's a lot of I have the vision. I'm the only one that can solve it, and at the same time grab them by the, we're going to take the country back type of grab them, etc. It's very mixed, but the whole idea is you have the worry doll for Trump right in nature. He's dedicated to creating this chaotic energy, which is what he's good at, for distracting from whatever else comes out. And we really are in a place where it's important to hold the vision of the future that we would want, which my vision is very different than what was by at least 4 of the justices in the Supreme Court. We need to hold our own vision for what we want for a country and not get pulled into the fear, and not get pulled into they're going to win, or this is inevitable, or they've all gone off. We all of this we know. Like before I went to the hearing with the Supreme Court, I knew all of it. It still is just a shock to hear what was said and how they acted. It was a reality check for what you know. We're not in a civil war, quote unquote, in the traditional sense, but we are in our version of a civil war where we have a minority who wants to take control. So we're not, quote, fighting them in that way, but we have a group of powerful people and ideological people and that want control of the country. And even if this minority gets control, their visions are so different that I can't imagine how that they would make it work. It would be then a different type of. But I think we have to hold our dream, our rainbow, and not get caught up in that a minority can do that, and we have to act to stop it. And there are a number of people saying, including Holder, the previous AG, there's no one coming to save us. We have to save ourselves.